It is Tuesday, August 16th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling a Shot.
Well, you're back with our three best picks of the day. We got our favorite two game picks, a NRFI, and of course, our hit streak parlay coming your guys' way.
As always, guys, just do us a favor. Go down, hit that subscribe button if you already aren't subbed to our channel. Really helps Austin and I grow this channel.
And all our OGs, hit that like button. Let's talk about yesterday. A profitable day back in the winning column. We had Joe Ryan under 2.5 earned runs, our player prop of the day. It was sweaty, but he gets it done. We had the Rangers versus Athletics, no run first innings. We got the wave these flags, cash that one. The Blue Jays, Kikuchi, he's banned. I got my Ryan Mountcastle jersey because he launched a nuke yesterday. But our hit streak does continue. We finally get past day one. Alec Bowman, Trey Turner, get it done. We're going to keep rolling that hit streak and all those winnings into the next day. I think we're up to $18 today. Obviously, starting with 10. Like Logan said, hit that subscribe button. If you are new, we're donating 10 cents to St. Jude for every single subscriber we gain in August. And if you guys can do me one more favor, go check out our fantasy football video. It's our first one of the season, 7 players to avoid in fantasy football. I think it's a really good video. Put a lot of time into it. We're going to have a lot of fantasy content coming out over the next 3 weeks. So definitely check that out. I'll have it linked at the end of the video in the pinned comment down below. Go check that out. But Logan, you sold us bad info yesterday on the Blue Jays. What do you got for the people today?
Hey, whoa. We don't come after people for bad picks. That was a just misread on my part. But you know what? We bounced back today. We're going to the Dodgers versus Brewers, and I'm taking the over 8 total runs in this one. Minus 110 odds on DraftKings is currently your best value. I mean, if you look across the books, it's pretty standard, the over-under split odds. But I'm doing some line reading on this one, and actually the total has come down. It was 8.5 last night, which really did draw my eye to it because 8.5 for a game that just ended 4-0. I mean, that's a pretty high total. But the total is set very, pretty high to me for these two teams. But I believe it's high for a reason, right? You got Pepio pitching for the Dodgers, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, and 3 walks allowed in his most recent start versus the Twins. I mean, I kind of look at the Twins as sort of a Brewer type team. I mean, the Twins had a lot of home runs. Milwaukee, 6th in home runs at home, 10th in OPS at home. Milwaukee is a decent home offense. I expect them to definitely get some hits and runs up on Pepio today. I mean, simply they have to, right? The Brewers are solid minus 126 favorites right now. The books expect some offense against Pepio. I mean, that's how they're going to have to win this game. And the reason why I'm not picking the Brewers full game is just because I don't trust their bullpen at all. Ever since they shipped Hader out, their bullpen sells them so many games. I won't do it there. But I definitely think they should definitely be able to get some hits and runs up early in this game. Pat a nice solid lead. Now for the Brewers pitching today, they got Woodruff, 2.38 home ERA and a 0.77 WHIP. For the Brewers. I mean, it's hard for me to poke holes in Woodruff's game, but I can say that he's not unhittable, right? Like I've watched a couple of his most recent starts. He gave up some earned runs versus Tampa Bay. He gave up some earned runs versus the Pirates. And those aren't offenses like the Dodgers at all, right? If there's any team that can throw Woodruff off his game, it's the Dodgers. I mean, if they're getting some free base runners, it's going to make Woodruff uncomfortable, right? Dodgers 1st in runs scored on the road, 2nd in hits on the road, 1st in OPS on the road. I mean, what more do you want? This Dodgers offense is normally a juggernaut on the road. They put up some runs last night, and I definitely don't see why they couldn't hit Woodruff today. Dodgers hitters, I pulled their splits versus Woodruff, right? Freeman hitting 364 versus him. Mookie Betts hitting 600 versus him. Trey Turner 273. So they've seen him before, and they have hit him before. I definitely think we should have some run opportunities there, right? Milwaukee also 19th in bullpen ERA. Like I said, that's why I can't pick Milwaukee full game in this one. Although I do think they might have a chance at winning this one. I can't pick them full game. I do see some run opportunities for the Dodgers coming late against that Milwaukee bullpen, though, right? And then also the Dodgers 4th in bullpen ERA, but I expect them to get enough on Pepio in the first half of this game to make it competitive. So I am taking the over in this one. Look, I learned my lesson. You don't take unders in Dodgers games. They could blow it open themselves. But real quick, before I throw it to you, Austin, I want to talk about Logan's line read. Logan's line read was a terrible, catastrophic crash and burn yesterday. But today, I think the Nationals plus 1.5 versus the Cubs. Now, it couldn't be me writing a full write-up on why I trust Patrick Corbin today, but I just look at the public percentages. So way over 90% is on the Cubs run line at plus value. Look, I just don't think they're giving that away. And the Cubs aren't that great versus lefties as well. So I think the Nationals plus 1.5. Justin Steele is not a good pitcher at all. So the Nationals should be able to maybe cover that run line. So it's my Logan's line read of the day. But Austin, what do we got for the day?
All right, so let's dive in. Now, you did talk about Patrick Corbin. I don't think he's the worst strikeout ladder if you're going to go for one. Those are the guys you kind of have to target, the guys with that 4.5-ish range strikeout. Cubs, we know, strike out a lot. And we saw Mike Minor get the cover yesterday. Why can't Patrick Corbin do it today? Now, we're going to go into the hit streak parlay before I get into my play. I'm taking Alec Boehm and Austin Riley. Like minus 125 parlay together. I think we're at like $18.50. Hopefully we can hit this one, go to day 3, start really building up that bankroll and start to get to a point where I can actually take some winnings away from that $10 initial investment. But let's go to my official play. Going Twins, minus 0.5 in the first 5. So the first 5 run line, taking on the Royals, currently minus 130. On DraftKings is going to be your best value. Now, you see a couple other books, minus 140 on FanDuel. And I swear when FanDuel makes these like minus 140 on the Twins and then plus 112, they never hand out this free money on this plus 12. But that's regardless. Let's talk about who's on the mound. Now, Zach Greinke will start for the Royals. He's been pretty solid this year. I mean, this is a guy that, congrats to him, just allowed his 3,000th hit in his most recent start against the White Sox. Gave up 9 hits in that game. However, the White Sox couldn't draw in anyone. They had bases loaded several times, couldn't get in any runs. I think he gives up some runs today because Greinke, he's 4-7 this year, 4.29 ERA, a 1.34 WHIP. So solid numbers, not crazy. I mean, he's a 38-year-old veteran. He knows crafty ways to get out of jams, but Greinke's been really bad on the road. 0-5, 7.16 ERA, and a 1.61 WHIP on the road. He's really been struggling. And you look at the Twins versus Greinke, they've seen him a good amount, 86 plate appearances, just a 10.5 strikeout percentage, which we know Greinke's not going to strike out a whole lot of guys, and a 297 expected batting average. So they've been able to see him pretty well, been able to get it done. And you look at Greinke over his last 5 starts, he's lost the first 5 and 4 of them, and the only one he technically won. He did not get a win credited to him, but the Royals scored 4 runs in the top of the 5th. And look, I don't think the guy that is pitching for the Twins today, Sonny Gray, will be able to do that. And Alex Gray's up and down, but he's been more or less pretty consistent this year. 6-3, 3.33 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP. It's been pretty good. If you look at his home road splits, not a big difference. He actually pitches a tad worse at home, but you never really know if that's just how the matchup kind of how the cookie crumbles in terms of who he gets to see at home versus on the road. But he does have similar. But you look at his strikeouts per 9 innings, 10.3 at home compared to just 6.5 on the road. You also look at Sonny Gray's strikeout prop today. It's about 5.5, I believe 5.5. He hasn't even sniffed that over his last four starts, and we're really missing like 7 of his last 8. So the books are thinking Sonny Gray comes out here and pitches pretty well. Gray also allowed 8 home runs this year. That's one of the lowest totals the MLB has to offer. This Royals team, if they're going to burn you, it's normally because of the guys hitting home runs like Salvi Perez, Vinny Pasquantino. He's the one that hit a nuke in the first inning to really make a sweat Joe Ryan yesterday. But you look at the Royals versus Gray, 37 plate appearances, so not a ton. 18.9 strikeout percentage, just a 214 expected batting average. I think Mr. Gray can get us that 1-run lead. I think the Twins offense can get a couple runs up on Greinke. Gray can hold it down. So I'm taking the Twins first 5 run line, minus 130 on DraftKings, a tad juiced, but I still like it at that value. If you wanted to lean for a player prop, do like Sean Manaea over 17.5 outs. I believe it's about minus 115. Taking on the Marlins. I just don't trust that Marlins offense. They obviously won yesterday, but they had Sandy going. Of course, they're probably going to win his only start. I think Sean Manaea pitches at least a little bit decently. Marlins struggling in general, but might probably struggle versus a left-handed pitcher. So if you want to take a player prop, I'd lean that. Not going to really play it because I don't want to touch that. But that's what time it is. My camera went out for a second, but that's not going to stop us because we're playing this music and we're waving these flags because it's NRFI Nation time, baby. We need to cash another one. We've been so profitable all year long. Let's dive into this one. We are going to go the one that wronged a lot of people yesterday, Logan. Angels, Mariners, no one first inning, minus 110 on BetMGM. Everyone took it yesterday when you have the 2, Luis Castillo and Shohei Ohtani. Now, Tie Nation out there, raise your flags because you cashed if you took the tie at 1-1. We don't do that here. We're taking the no one first inning, which is minus 110 on BetMGM. Now, Ash actually did the best value by a long shot. You see minus 128 on FanDuel. A couple other books are pretty more juiced, but let's dive into why we like this one. Now, Jose Suarez on the mound for the Angels today. 10-2 on NRFIs this year. You look at his numbers, he's got like a 4-ish ERA, a 1.3 WHIP. He's going to put some base runners out there over the course of the game, but 10-2, pretty solid, and he's pitched versus Mariners twice, combining his 2 outings, 10 1/3 innings pitched, only 1 earned run allowed, and he did NRFI in both of those 2 starts. Now, you look at the Mariners, 9th and first inning runs. This is a team that, they're going to start off with J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, and Ty France. But if he can get down, one of those 2, I think we got a good chance of him getting those first 3 outs. And then who's on the mound for the Mariners today, Logan?
Yeah, it's Robbie Ray, Grunton Robbie Ray. 18-5 on NRFIs this year. I mean, he's been pretty solid. He's had a ton of starts, and he's been, an ally most of the part for NRFI Nation. The Angels 15th in first inning runs. That's a middle of the pack, offense in terms of first inning runs. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really see the Angels scoring in the first inning in this one. Now watch Robbie Ray throw a meatball, but I think Robbie Ray should be able to hold down that offense. The over under set to 7.5. Normally the range we like to pick these NRFIs in. And I think for the value, I think this one stands a really good chance of cashing. What happens, Austin, when you pick juice NRFIs, right? Oh, Logan, I parlayed them together. I parlayed the two juice NRFIs. Well, that was a parlay out because the books just really like getting people on juice NRFIs. A juice Yerfie, same result. If you know, you know. But I really like this one, and I like the fact it's not juiced. Let's go NRFI Nation.
Yeah, I really think this one's a really good shot. I think we had a good shot of cash in this one. Like Logan and I say, when we always take a NRFI and it becomes a Yerfie, the next day it always is a no-run first inning. It's like the easiest 6 outs we've ever seen. So hopefully we're playing in a little bit of that. We can get a quick 6 outs in this Angels-Mariners game, but probably not. We'll probably get a sweaty one. Now let's move into the parlay of the day. Got 2 legs. Hopefully we can cash this one for the people. It's on Odds Gym if you want to go read our full write-up. Going Tigers team total under 3.5 and the Diamondbacks money line plus 247. Definitely go check that out if you want to check out why exactly we like each of those legs. It's on OddsJam. But if you can check out one thing, and I would really appreciate it, 7 players to avoid in fantasy football. It's linked on the screen right now. Go check it out. Really good video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Send me some good feedback because I'm going to be creating some more over the next couple of weeks. So appreciate you guys always tuning in. Let's go bring out these brooms today. We'll see you guys again tomorrow morning.